that reduces it
That
greatly.
changes everything.
And if we did this where they paid the materials, for the amount of mileage that they've got, they're gonna be in the 150 to 175 range, which is more palatable to them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I would move that we change the cost share policy.
Support.
Any more discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
so we'll need one new one signed.
No, he's got a copy.
Okay.
I was at my township meetings on Monday, Scipio Township and Fayette Township. Fayette Township seemed to think they didn't have to do cost sharing policy. Would that be a true statement?
I don't send them out. When we do the township meetings, that's when we give them.
Oh, you don't send them out, the new cost share policy? I would, okay, my thought would be is you'd send them out with the email for them to sign up, so that when they're talking about road projects, they know what.
Probably could have, or we could.
Well, thank goodness we didn't,
still.
because then it's all changed.
True enough, but
But
Luck out on that one.
Since we've just voted to adopt this, I think it'd be appropriate they get sent out
Right.
before that meeting in January.
Yep.
So they can
You just
have them to look
yeah,
at and
that's why
prepare.
I just email
we
them.
can do that.
Thank you.
Is paper patch by the mile or by the tonnage?
By the tonnage, by the material.
Yes.
So you might have 3,000 foot of paver patch, you might have 500 foot of paver patch. If it's good road, you only need a couple spots filled in, then it'd be a smaller amount. If you got a lot, then it's gonna be a larger.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do it by tonnage than it does by mileage.
Yes, it's by tonnage, strictly, yes. And then whether we say it's a 1 inch, inch and a half, 2 inch, that will pretty much tell you how much it's gonna be.
Okay, alcohol and drug.
Before we go on, a couple old business questions.
Okay.
So have we heard anything from the state yet on the bridge funding that we applied for back at the end of March?
They haven't come out with that yet.
I'm a little surprised at that because I got a call yesterday from Scott Merritt, Managing Director in Lenawee County, and they have received word that they're approved for funding on the Beecher Road Bridge there just east of 127, and that they're gonna be doing that in the spring of 2026. I mean, he wanted me to know because I get a lot of questions about that bridge. There's a lot of people from eastern part of Hillsdale County that typically go to Aidman that way.
We will get into that and look, but I haven't got any notification, and neither has Heather, of any approved.
Road Bridge, that's kind of a special.
I think that was a special thing to get.
Really?
that going, yeah.
Is that the one that burnt?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's totally different than the critical bridge submissions.
Yeah.
But isn't that,
No.
it's that time of the year that we
It's-
should
yes.
know that?
We should be hearing something soon, yeah,
It's
I'll
normally,
look into it.
normally in December, we usually hear.
But yes, it is totally different from that, that would be
Okay.
something totally different.
Okay. Then I have a question, and maybe you talked about this, but I didn't understand your comment about the paving projects in 2025. That 2 miles left to do on Camden Road between Pittsford Road and Trip Road.
That will be done next year.
Okay, but have we already, is the paperwork done? Has the bidding process been completed on that, and, or
I believe so.
we still have stuff to
I think
do?
we're just waiting, because the construction time period will be in the spring. They were gonna try to get it done this year, but the timing didn't work, so.
Well, I think it was in part because the contractors were all up to here in projects.
So it's, as far as I know, it's all good, it's all done. Come spring, when they can start working, they'll start.
Be one of the first things they'll tackle. Okay.
I'm not sure who got that one. Now, because the walls are thin around here, and Heather says, I checked the website, and we did not get any bridges selected for the critical bridge we submitted. So,
That works out great. We don't even have to
The
walk
walls
over
are
there.
thin.
Don't even need an intercom.
Which is sad.
2026
That is sad.
That would be for 26 or 27 actually, for anything that got selected this year would be for
26.
27 actually, I think.
I'll touch
That's
base
usually
with.
2 years out.
It's 2 years out.
So 2 years from now, it's 26.
That'd be the end of 26, but yeah, I mean,
So none of our projects got selected,
not right now.
we're too small.
Well, probably there's some big bridges went out, that's where the money goes.
Oh, yeah.
You get on 475, or any of those.
We do have one that's still 12-ton weight limit, or we were just messing with that the other day.
Well, we have a bridge, we have 2 bridges in Wright Township that are close to one another. One has a 12-ton weight limit and another one an 8-ton weight limit. And the one with the 12-ton weight limit is at the corner of Hartley and Likely Roads. It's the big
That's the
4-way
three-way?
bridge.
That's the big,
Yeah,
the
that
big,
one.
yeah.
That has a 12-ton weight limit on it. And that bridge was built in 1947.
I'm really surprised, those bridges were submitted for fiscal year 27. So the ones that we just didn't get were for 27. I'm really surprised a lot of these bridges that are down to especially an 8-ton and even a 12-ton aren't getting closed, to be honest with you. Because they're at that point where they're so restricted, and if you start having, especially if they ever come out and like watch it, and they watch heavy traffic going across it, and they say we can't control the traffic, they're gonna say close it.
Yeah.
So we gotta be very mindful of getting that word out, people. If it's got a weight limit on it, don't.
Do they still go on a point system? We get some
Yep.
money, so we keep moving up. I wonder how far down that was. Heather?
So anyway,
Is this federal money or state?
And there's some of both.
that's both.
Okay, so,
Because with a bridge, they pay 95%, and we're responsible for the other 5%, and then if it's a local, we split that between the locals.
okay. So, being federal money, what they were talking about at the Southeast Council, could, feds come in and shut the bridge in?
Yes,
That's what I was thinking.
very much so.
And there is a lot of trucks go across there.
And that's the thing, when those heavy trucks go across one, they're damaged, they get even worse, quicker, but there's a big risk of a catastrophic
Yeah, a truck and a
accident.
wreck.
And when they see that happening, that their term is that the county road commission cannot control the traffic, therefore it needs to be closed. And unless you have some way of controlling that traffic to limit that 12-ton, which we really don't, they're gonna say close it.
That would be a nightmare.
Yes.
Oh, it would.
And we've got
Especially that-
several of those bridges that are in that condition right now, so.
This
All
affects
across
4
the state.
roads, actually.
That's across the state, but even in this county.
Anything else on the old? All right, now, drug and alcohol policy.
So this is another policy that, and you've got in front of you there. We need to update it. 'Cause it's like extremely old the way it is. And really the only change that I did make to this was adding, I don't have one of them here.
I thought H was what you changed. You have to do something.
Oh, on the reporting.
Well, it's on the testing. Okay, sorry. Yes, H. And so that's reportable accident, and all we did was expand on, explain what we feel a reportable accident or incident is. And we've defined that as anything that is estimated to exceed $500. So And that really could be anything. It could be, you know, it doesn't have to be a vehicle accident or vehicle equipment that could fall under the DOT guidelines and go for a DOT physical. But it's also non-DOT if something happens in the office. Somebody damaged something worth a couple $1,000s. We still do the same thing, but it would be a non-DOT drug testing and go through the protocols for that.
$500 almost make a headlight on a vehicle.
It's close on some of them, yes, but right now, the mandated, one for DOT is if if an individual is cited, a vehicle's towed away, or an individual is seeing medical treatment off-site, like goes to the hospital, an ambulance, or something like that. And that's also in here, all the DOT stuff is covered in here. Just the reportable incident and that's one of the testing criteria.
You got a motion?
I would think so, yeah.
To approve the new drug and alcohol policy.
Support.
We need a roll call.
Yeah. I was just about to, and you supported Bob Godfrey,
Yes.
Mike Carney,
Yes,
Gary Leiniger,
Yes.
Kathy Schmidt,
Yes,
Mark Cotton.
Yes.
it's the drug and alcohol testing policy.
Correct.
And nothing here, that's one thing I'm struggling with, nothing here has policy numbers. It's just the policy. And it's in a book labeled by what page they're at. Would you rather switch everything to a policy number?
I'd say that'd
In
be
the
up
future.
to.
I think it'd be more organized.
Yeah,
So if we were to take all these policies that you've already done, and we just enter them into an order of, I don't wanna go one, but maybe start at 100 or something, and number them, is that okay with?
If you're gonna number the policies, I would suggest county commissioners do this, and I think they have a date, like a year, and then which number during that year, so it becomes a multi-number, but isn't it not, like you said, it'd be, and I don't remember do you remember how they're numbered, Doug?
My own personal system is I go like 24, 11, 12. So then I know the year, the month, the date. That's how I do it. How the county does it is year and then resolution number. And it grows as the year goes.
Yeah.
Right. But if you need to look back and try and find something, it makes it
You gotta
findable.
have some way of,
Right.
you know,
It makes
logic.
it findable.
Right,
which will all be in one binder, and then in that binder, they'll be in order, but
right.
I'm just saying, if we were to take something like this and add some kind of number to it, are you okay with leaving it the way it is, just for that number?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
We can deal with it from there.
Okay.
We
Scan
need
it
some.
all and put it in a file.
Did everybody sign the
That will be.
policy?
Okay, good, that makes sense.
You sent it, Doug, did you sign, have you signed the policy
Yep,
around?
yep,
It's
yep,
there,
yep.
okay, sorry.
everybody signed it.
Sign agreement with, Dalton's for, spraying guardrail flush and weed control contract. They're extending it?
They're extending and keeping the same prices, which was like from,
You guys approved it, we just.
Yeah,
didn't
we just
sign
gotta
it.
sign it.
okay.
Oh, there's only one here. One.
Moving right along.
There we go.
Yeah, here, you gotta find one.
And I guess while you're signing that, if you wanna just move on, the last thing there is the Christmas party.
Yes,
We've kicked around as to have the employees and retirees, for the December, and make it December 13th if that works,
December 13th.
which is the second Friday in December.
Oh, right. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
About what?
Yeah.
What happened to that week?
No. So we're figuring almost 100 people total, right?
I have no part of it, I know nothing.
Depending on how many retirees.
And I think John's come up with somebody to furnish the
Yes.
dinner.
Normally Michigan Paving comes in and cooks steaks and all that, well, they're busy with another function or something, can't make it, but they did say they'd be more than happy to
Pay for it.
put the bill for a caterer.
Perfect.
What time, at noon? 11:30, I don't know what time it is.
We haven't set anything up, cause we wanna make
Yeah,
sure
we
those
wanted
dates
to-
would work best for you
I'd
guys.
say noon, probably.
What do we
What do you
normally
think,
do?
Bob?
I think it would be
I
fun.
gotta look, I don't know, I don't plan this.
And we,
That's not
and
like
that
Heather's
quite
been trying
enough.
to run with this one, so
Yeah,
Oh, great,
Karen's usually
great.
the one that did it.
Now that
she'll be
comes,
texting me here in a minute, telling me what time, but
tell her.
So we're gonna do this on Friday the 13th?
That's-
Why not? Why not?
There was 2 pages.
There's 2 pages,
Oh,
one, so we have original, and then they would like original.
all right, we got it. Okay, that, whatever she comes up with, what are we gonna do about hams? Are we gonna buy hams and split it?
Well, the state's letting us have more dopamites, we could give each guy a beer, save some money.
If you give yourself a raise, you can afford it.
Give her a raise to the men.
We did it the last couple of years, and I don't remember what, like $3.50.
Yeah.
And Heather has actually been digging into a few places around, whether it be
Yes,
like
she
Myers and M&M and
Kroger's, Market
And
Health.
everything's in,
local places. And
yeah, everything's in the county, she is right.
she'll text me here in a second as to what she.
She actually gave me that price, I
Did
lost
she?
it. Don't tell her. Oh, right here it is. The only one that has M&M was gonna quote it and let us know, was Kroger, was $2.59, Walmart $2.48, Myers $2.99, Myers $2.29, which is 2 different hams, I guess.
Must be per pound price.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
per pound.
Okay,
And I think they're averaging 10 pounds and the
Mark-
2 prices, one's spiral and one's, I guess what you call it.
bone in or picnic.
Yeah, one was, Market House was $2.49, and they went out of the county on only one, that was, what is it, McAfee's?
McCullough's.
McCullough's,
Maybe they
and they were 309, so they need to stay in that county.
Yeah, that's lovely county.
So basically, I mean, don't have my calculator out, but if you do a 10-pound ham and 100, you're gonna be 1,000.
She's
Times whatever the
calculating,
poundage is.
she's calculating it to be like $22.90. But normally, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be this year, but usually M&M's cheaper. That's where we've got it the last 2 years.
And we don't know who RSVPs yet,
No,
that's just,
we won't know until.
yeah.
Do we need a motion or just?
No, because it's not road commission, but it's,
No.
Yeah, that's just kind of a thing for you.
it's not coming out of the road commission.
And like last year, I'll participate, so.
Oh, that drops it too.
Yeah.
How many people?
Now
You
if we get, now if
You
we get
aren't
Katie.
bucking for a raise.
Maybe.
Be 6 people.
Since we're getting a raise, you wanna get a raise.
I'm on a better one than yours. I want to $4,000.
You don't work that cheap, do you?
381.
And I'd say we wait till smokehouse comes in, but what do you think? Whoever's.
But I think we need to do it, it's a,
Yeah.
It's a tradition.
it's a tradition and it's a good gesture of goodwill.
And we appreciate what the men do.
Yeah.
Or not all the men, just
Yeah.
some of them. I mean,
And women.
Men
the
and
people,
women.
the workers.
Boy, did you mess up.
Our employees.
Yeah, employee.
You might have to do more than a ham.
All right, well,
I might have to throw a chicken in there. I don't know.
as long as we're all in agreement, we'll get it figured out. Okay, let's move on. Public comment, everybody's been waiting. Oh, we got.
Up comes hands.
Hands up.
The lady in the back.
Where on territorial is gonna be the construction in the spring for a bridge you were talking about?
It's east
Culvert.
of M99, about a mile and an eighth,
Okay.
And-
That reroutes me to Toledo.
yeah.
And then is
And it
the,
shouldn't take real long, cause that's just a culvert.
that's what you said about the last one.
Oh.
I wasn't here for the last.
Oh, yes, you were.
And is there any time date on the 49 just out of Camden?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Well, they told
kinda-
us at the traffic summit that that was not gonna happen until 2026 at the
Is that the one they
earliest,
pushed?
and it could be a 2-year project
And it'll be a temporary bridge.
with
One
one-way
way,
traffic
one way.
across the
Oh,
bridge.
so you could still, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
They
there's
elected
a
not
lot
to do
of
a
that.
detour route, and they elected to put in a temporary one-lane bridge.
Oh, okay, that
With
works.
traffic lights.
That's fine. All right, thank you.
Yes.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I emailed in for my dates for the January meetings, I just wondered when we'd hear back when that would be.
We still have some townships that haven't,
So you wait till everybody gets in, then you send it back?
well,
And after the meeting, I can,
Okay.
right?
we're trying to get as many as we can, it's a first come, first
Okay.
serve. But some just can't make it, so we've gotta save a few to be.
I mean, that's our problem, is we can't make it earlier today, so we,
Okay.
because we got.
We should be able to tell you that.
Okay. Second question I got, you guys are talking about bridges with reduced weight limits, and if you couldn't enforce them, you had to close them. The Watkins Road's bridge, it's just around the corner from one we just replaced, that's a 13-ton limit. What's the thought on that bridge as far as,
It's the same with all of them, if we or the state decide that somebody or people are still using it that are well over that weight limit, we have the option and probably should close it.
well, I mean, obviously, when Hall Creek was closed, it was getting used.
Yeah.
Semis and everything used it, and it's still, it's not in the creek yet, but, I just wondered if there's any idea when that would be. I'm sure that it's got a lot less use now that the other bridge is there.
But again, that's a local bridge, so that's gonna take a local match to.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm concerned about it. We still haven't got the bill for the first one yet, so.
We finished that last month in October, and I'm doing my October
Okay.
billing, I believe, next.
That's all right, you can take a year or two if you want.
No, I do my October billing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so all
that's my
those bridges
concern.
that are like that are a concern. That's,
So could we put a trestle over it so anything over 9 foot can get through there?
it doesn't work on pallet, so.
They keep trying eventually.
Yeah, they're gonna eventually move that bridge.
They used to have that on Bacon too, but they finally fixed that problem.
Well, they're supposed to fix the one on Howard too, that's in the works.
They ought to do just fill that valley in and make it a drivable road, train track.
Something.
That'd probably be cheaper.
They don't like at-grade crossings getting added, but
I'm just saying, if you just filled that valley in,
I'd love to fill a few of them in.
I mean, they've done that different places, I know where they've done that, filled it in, and up there 94, where the road used to come underneath it, they closed that for about a week and you had to use the other ramp then.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be replaced until 26. They're supposed to take all of 25 to engineer what they're gonna do.
27?
No, I think, what was it at the traffic council? Did they say 27 or 26?
The guy
Something like
said
that.
26, and then he said it's not gonna get done till 27.
Okay, so.
So you guys have no idea then Watkins Road, if or when or whatever.
No. If we get some complaints or notice that something's going across there that shouldn't, we'll have to evaluate that and have it inspected again.
We could go out there and cut everybody's phone line in that area. They don't know.
Why don't we just take a couple cement blobs and close it ourselves?
Well, that could happen.
Alright,
Yes.
Question I have, David Payne, Allen Township. Complete ditching of local roads, 70% township, 30% road commission. Complete deburring on local roads, 50% township, 50% road commission. The best one I need an example of would be Cronk Road between Jonesville Road and US 12. How does that break out? You guys just did that.
That's kind of even before all this, that'd be a combination of all that, but it'd be a complete ditching.
Okay, so the township has to pay for 70% on complete ditching? And what about the deburring? We have to pay for 50% of that? Alright,
It's not gonna be both. If you're gonna complete ditch, that's gonna take care of burns when you ditch it. So it's either gonna be one or the other. If it just, and the intent is, ditching costs us so much time and effort and equipment, that costs us a lot of money to go in there and totally ditch, like what we did in Litchfield on Sterling Road. Or I think we did it on Cronk Road a few years ago. That costs a lot of money. If we can go in there and just wipe off the berms and do like a whole mile down and back of berms, that's a whole lot easier and quicker. And so that's what we would like a lot of the townships to be able to do. And eventually I'd like to get to where we can do that under maintenance, but we're not there anytime soon.
okay, on that note, I'm gonna put the entire road commission board on notice. And I want an answer when we meet with you in January. Why are our roads not getting debermed? I've been on this board for 10 years, Mr. Godfrey. I'm looking at you specifically because we've had this discussion for 10 years. And I never get an answer. And nothing changes, and I wanna know why.
I can tell you right now,
I'm listening.
we don't have enough manpower.
You don't maintain the roads that you spent and the township spent the money on deberming.
We still don't have manpower,
Don't your road graders go down to gravel roads once a year?
once a year.
Why don't they pull those berms back when they're this tall? I want an answer from the board when we meet in here, because I am sick of this. This has been going on for 10 years, people.
Oh, it's been going on a lot longer.
I've been asking about it for 10 years. Why does the township spend the money, the road commission spend the money on deberming the roads, and then they're not maintained? Why? You guys are in charge of this, aren't you?
No.
What is the purpose of the county road commission board?
See, I can blame it on Bob.
What is the purpose of the county road commission board then?
Financing, policies,
Our job is to set policies. Technically, our job is to set policies.
That's what I'm asking.
and technically, we can't tell him what to do. If you wanna get down to technicalities.
You wrote that down, didn't you?
Yeah.
He tells me what to do.
That's recorded.
I'm
But
getting,
that's technical.
Okay, just a little bit of answer. I can't reply to what's happened in the past, or, cause these roads are no different than any other road in the entire state. Deberming is just deberms and ditch are horrible throughout the state. I'll agree to that. Now, as we're going through and doing these deberming projects, ditching projects, they're all being told, those grader blades better go to daylight from here on out. And so you shouldn't see any berm building back up, especially if it was ditched, for quite a few years. Ditches will fill back up. There's nothing you can do about it.
I understand that
They should be
100%.
cutting those berms off.
They're not.
Well, they are from here on out. As we're doing those projects, they're instructed to do it.
But what about the ones that have already been done? We've got roads out there that have been done since I've been on board. We've got a berm built up this far.
If it's just a small berm where they can pull it out and it doesn't create a snotty mess because of all the organics that's in it, they're also told, stick your blade to daylight, cut that off, or at least pull in a couple inches each time, you know?
If you're,
And they are doing that.
understand what you're saying on bringing crap in the road. I've lived in this county my entire life. I get it. 100% get it. But it's not getting done.
Okay. Well,
That is my frustration, and this has been an ongoing matter that I've had with the county road commission, and I'm in my 12th year of being on this board. We have spent a phenomenal amount of money, as has the road commission, deberming roads, deberming, ditching roads. Should the township have to spend the money on that? In my opinion, no, because that's a maintenance issue, but I'm not going down that road. But what fires me up, pisses me off, is the roads are not getting maintained, and the berm is building back up within 2 years of it having just been done. So what was the point of either of spending the money if it's not gonna get maintained?
all I can say is that shouldn't be happening in the future. We've
So,
got training that we're sending the grader guys through. We're setting new policies to tell them how to go about doing it.
so when it comes to
I can only say for what's happened in the past few months.
So when we come back next year, am I gonna get the same answer that, well, this is what the policy is, it shouldn't be happening this year? You understand my
Yeah,
frustration?
I understand your frustration.
Okay, I just,
And on these roads that we're going in and deberming and ditching right now, if you've got issues with them after this point, by all means, give me a call.
it's not the ones that you have just done in the past couple of years.
Okay,
Like I said, I'm in my 12th year now.
but I can't answer for that.
I
Some berms
understand.
are like 3 foot deep. That's been decades of,
And I'm not talking about those roads, I'm talking about the ones in Allen Township that the county has debermed, spent the money on. The township spent the money on the gravel, and now we got berms building back up and the water can't get off. That's the issue that I have.
okay, all I say is, we're gonna address
No,
that.
I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, because this has been an ongoing thing for 10 years with me.
Just a comment, I guess, suggestion would be is a listing of those roads that you've worked on over the last 10 years. I don't know how lengthy that list would be. And during the ride-along, when Bob goes with your ride-along, you could assess those roads and see just how much of the berm has come back up and see if there's something that through our new policy would be corrected, or not. Not that we're gonna fix everything, but at least you would be on the same page as to which road you're talking about in your township.
And I don't think, and if you guys think I'm wrong, any of you tell me I'm wrong, please tell me. I don't think asking you to maintain the roads that have been fixed should be a problem.
No, you're correct.
You're right.
You got a 2-foot berm, 3-foot wide, not blaming anybody on here for that. I'm not. I have an issue with the ones that have been corrected that are not being maintained.
Right, and if you have a list of those, and again, you both can then get on the same page, the
I
county
will.
and you can be on the same page as
I
to,
will be
do we have a problem, do we not have a problem?
I will be more than happy to make one up and bring it in with us then.
And you're on for a board meeting, come and see me, we can talk, go look at it.
Can you drive?
That's fine.
I get a chance, I might try and see if you're available next week.
Give me a call.
You might wanna rethink that if you're gonna ride with Bob.
He's still got one good foot.
Oh, he's good. All right, yes.
Hi, I just wanted to come today and introduce myself. I think I've met most of you, but Jennifer Wertz, I'm the next state representative for our district. So thank you all for your support. I know all of you road commission members are behind me and I just appreciate that. Thank you for all of you that did vote for me. And I've been in Lansing a few times. I have a training next week. Looking forward to get started the 1st of January. One of the priorities of the Republicans is to work on road funding. So obviously I don't know how much progress we'll make in the next 2 years. We do have control now of the House, but not the Senate or the governorship for 2 more years. And I've told lots of people this, if I had $1 for every time that somebody had a complaint about Eagle, I could have added a lot of money to my campaign fund. So this is a common complaint. We have a farm. We have had our own frustrations with Eagle. I was the conservation district manager in Branch County, attended a lot of road commission meetings in Branch County and heard the same complaints over and over. You hear it in business. I mean, they are a huge problem. I would love to see some deregulatory steps, hopefully that we can take moving forward in the next couple of years and get things running smoothly. It should not take weeks or months for someone in an office in Lansing to respond to you. Also on that note, I have actually filled both my staff positions, and so come the 1st of the year, feel free to reach out. I'll have a full functioning staff in Lansing and look forward to meeting with you. I'm also working on submitting some first policy bills for proposals, so if there's any recommendations you have, aside from more road funding, that's already a priority. I don't know what I can do about your personal pay. I think that's within the county, so good luck on that. Thank you.
I will be impressed with just weeks or months for Eagle.
Weeks and months would be helpful, okay, well,
Cause it's years.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
not joking.
yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't happen to get that road funding from your dad, did you? He never
No,
mentioned it, did he?
actually.
I find that hard to believe.
I do too.
Actually, but I will give you guys a compliment and Hillsdale County. I drove around a lot statewide helping because I was in a safe seat. And I know y'all have some frustrations, but go drive over in downriver area in Detroit. Go drive on 23 where you're not sure if your tire's still on after you hit a pothole.
Monroe County,
Monroe County. I drove through there, yeah.
Calhoun County.
Yeah, so, and in some of those cases, Calhoun, embezzlement issues led to decades of, lack of funding. So, I know things aren't perfect, things are never perfect, but, and sometimes you're stuck cleaning up a mess of a predecessor. So, slow and steady wins the race. So, you're doing it, I mean, I had people compliment our roads in our area, so.
Oh, can we have that in writing so we can
I
distribute
could
that?
get it in writing.
That's recorded.
Actually, there was someone that said at a meeting, this was Branch County, these are some of the best roads I've ever seen, but I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Good, thank you.
yeah.
Thanks for coming. Anything else? Any more? Yes.
Alan Andrews, this is my last meeting as an elected official. I would like to thank the board for all your support. I'd like to thank Bob and Kevin, Mark, Alan. I've done hours of ride-arounds with these guys, and things are getting better, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
I would just like to make this comment to Alan. I came on the board in 2021. And about midway through the year, he started coming to our board meetings on a regular basis and started phrasing questions about work in Reading Township that had been on the books for 2 or 3 years and still hadn't been done. And he was persistent. And I give a fair amount of credit to him for putting the pressure on the previous manager who wasn't getting the job done. And so, thank you, Alan, for being the burr under the saddle that brought about some change, much needed change.
We're gonna miss them. So it means I'm gonna show up all the time.
Alan, won't you please run again?
No.
You can still come to the meetings, Alan.
Yeah, we're gonna miss your face, Alan.
Who's the new supervisor?
Corey Burke.
Corey.
He was born and raised in Reading, and he lives on Banker Road. He's a fireman over to Hillsdale. I have a lot of hope for him.
He puts up beautiful Christmas lights
Yes,
every
he
year.
does.
If you ever go that way.
Just one other item I'd like to bring up. I was at Amboy's meeting last night, and I know they really would like to use this Duraburn product that comes out of the steel mills on their gravel roads. And I know it's going to be something they're gonna want to discuss with us when they come to the meeting in early January. And I would really hope that, we could find a way to work with them, because it's substantially cheaper than limestone. And, one of the concerns they have is that with the limit that we have put on of only putting on 1,500 tons of limestone a year, that they feel is too constraining for what they want to do. And, this product, if they can haul it and spread it, to me, it seems like something that would be a win-win for both the road commission and Amboy Township and the taxpayers. That's a card I got in the mail from the Duraburn people, and Bob, I think I gave you one of those too. So I just wanna bring that up, and I know they're very much interested in talking about it at our meeting in January.
I think we discussed that.
Well, as a minimum, we'd have to get it bid. So it can't just come off of a flyer. We'd have to put out a bid and see where it goes. I'm not against anything like this,
No.
but it needs to be bid, and just for clarification, that 1,500 is for patching, to like spot patching some bad spots. They've always been able to do a project that might be more than that, as a setup as a project to get done later in the year. So that 1,500 was just for patching, and even this year, we're gonna grade first and brine first before we put that patch material down. Just for
Because
clarification.
people don't want us brining early.
I understand that.
But,
But I think the flip side of that is, you know, in the heavy clay ground that we have, the best time, whether we're using limestone or we're using Duraburn for the steel
Just
mill,
put it on the spring.
put it on in the spring when the ground is soft enough so that it gets worked in. If we don't put it on until middle of the summer when the gravel roads are hard as a brick, then we don't get that work into the clay.
Well, and there's also nothing against, again, the policy you just signed today as revised is having a contractor do it. If we can't get to it that quick and a contractor can do it, we can do that too.
But they pay 100% of the
Yeah,
cost.
they pay 100% of the cost for the contractor to do it. So there is options.
Well, you know, I know that that's gonna be a big issue that they're gonna bring to the table in early January.
Question or clarification, did we not have a township that was already putting this kind of stuff down and we told them they could not?
Yes, because we didn't know what it was. It wasn't a bid, and it didn't go through us. And it wound up being way bigger than
That was,
this.
we went,
Well,
yes,
And
but there were two different products that got used. Initially, the smaller product they had was fine,
and they ran out.
But even that shouldn't have been getting
Yeah.
put on there without our
yes.
knowledge and knowing what
Understand.
we're putting on. And this, if we do a bid, it would go through us, we do a contract, we would deal with the contractor, they would pay the bill.
So if they were to hire, if they were to go with this product and we say, hey, if you hire a contractor to do it, go for it, but it still has to go through us and be approved contractor, and they have to know that.
Yes.
Alright.
anything else? Any more public comment? I didn't miss anybody. Doug? Nobody. All right, I guess we can stand adjourned.